And it is unconstitutional. And several states are filing, the attorney generals are filing against the federal government. All I can tell you is again and again and again, you've got to remove these people. And if you don't remove them, there's only one avenue left. And it's not legal.
And these states are suing, but they're all broke. What can they do? You know?
Well, they can get a judgment, but, you know, what's it going to take, 3 years?
Yeah.
No, this is a disaster for America, an unmitigated disaster, even worse than the wars what we have. Just terrible.
Just remember, those 70-year-olds that are just going to be sitting back, too, they get to, and they haven't been able to, well, I shouldn't say 70, 80, 90, all right, let's just say the older. I don't want to offend anyone out there. But, I mean, you know, when you look at the health care, if we forget, you know, there's not going to be any medical care whatsoever for the older people, and, you know, I'm moving up along the lines also. I mean, they'll just put you out. They'll just put you to, you know,
They'll put you to sleep.
We'll put you to sleep. Thank you. You know,
and they're going to do that.
If you
don't think they're going to do that, you're crazy.
We know what your DNA is because you're going to have to sign up. They're going to be taking your DNA, and then they'll just give you something matched with to your DNA. I mean, it's so simple. It's so, you know, it's so
That's
out
why
there.
so many people are moving out of the country. I mean, this happened before the legislation. It's been going on for years.
Yeah, absolutely.
But not in the numbers that I'm seeing now. You know, for me to get 50 a week is a lot. You know, I used to get 5 or so a week. And people approach me because I've lived all over the place. And I usually have up-to-date information on where to go and what to do and that sort of thing. Because we have a lot of subscribers from all over the world. In fact, those of you who like soccer, one of our subscribers, Luca Toni, who's with Roma, and he's had a previous recipient of the Golden Boot, which is the best soccer player in Europe, scoring. And I have a video of him scoring a goal on Saturday. And there are people out there who like soccer, so you get that to look forward to. And I ran into a couple of Italians last night, and Judy says to them, "Well, do you know Luca Toni?" And they looked at her and they said, "Well, we know who he is. He's, you know, the famous football star." That's what they call it outside the country, football. And so Judy proudly says, "Well, he's one of our subscribers." And we have shirts from him, which he has signed on the back from the Italian national team. So anyway, you're in good company, all you subscribers, with the sports greats.
All right.
But anyway, that's what you got to do, and you got to get everybody else to do it. And if it doesn't work, it's not going to be very good. Anyway, I see that the dollar looked like it went up today when early on it was getting bombed again. I mean, the other currencies were getting bombed again.
Well, actually, the last time I looked, it was up, and then it was heading back down. Last time I saw it was down a little bit, down 14.
It's a lot better than the morning. Although that, you know, that only has a 20% influence on gold prices. It's not really a factor. It decoupled about a year ago. And these currencies are all on their own. They get devalued against gold every day. And that's why it's very, very important that you own gold and silver. But in the case of long-term valuation, gold is the thing that's really held up better than anything else. I do have 2 questions today.
As I.
And, well, I think maybe you got the first one from Eric. You're referencing an article in the International Forecaster about the Federal Reserve believes it is possible that ultimately its operating framework will allow the elimination of minimum reserve requirements. Does that mean that the banks could be lending out 100 or 200 times their deposits? The answer to that question is yes. Maybe not on an ongoing basis, but from time to time. That 9-to-1 ratio that's used in banking is 40-to-1 right now, 40. So they're already on their way, and the reason they want no reserve requirements is because the bank's books can be totally fictitious and nobody cares, because there are no rules anymore. They can do anything they want. They could be 200 times. I mean, if you knew what I know about the system, you dig a hole and jump in. I mean, this system's going down big. And if you don't have gold, you are not going to eat. And the next part of the question, how likely is it that this change will be made? And I think it's even money. I think there's a good chance it'll be made. Of course, it will contribute to inflation and hyperinflation. And, of course, I don't think it'll make a lot of difference if and when deflation takes over, which is a possibility as well, a good one. And they're looking for a spot here. And I figure it's probably about a year and a half away, maybe a little longer. And that's what they're looking for, a good place to pull the plug.
Can I ask you a question, Bob?
No.
Okay.
No what?
What do you believe, and what's your opinion of the alignment of planets come December 2010?
Gee, I don't know. It's not something I know a lot about.
I mean, they're, of course, it's in the same relation as the Mayan calendars and all that kind of stuff. Those with the Planet X and, a lot of things happening supposedly with the alignment of the planets and the...
Well, I haven't talked to any people from Mars, the Moon, or any place lately.
No?
So I'm not up to speed on it.
Oh, okay. Didn't know if you had a personal opinion on all that kind of...
No, I don't. I just try to stay with the fundamentals, and if that's the reason why something's going to happen, that's great, but I don't know that, so I have to go along with the fundamentals as far as I can take them, so to speak.
Okay.
And I have one more here. Do you have another one?
Yes, I do. I have several, but if you'd like, do you want me to do mine?
Well, this is the last one.
All right.
The writer, Jim, asks, he says, some major gold stocks had very high volume in the last minutes on Friday, more than other days, or any other day in the history of the exchanges. And he asked, why do you think this is? And the reason is what is called short covering. It's a weekend, and they'd rather book profits or losses than go long into the weekend. Some players just will not do that. Others love to, but not many. And so with that said, the surge in volume and the softness in prices is caused by shorts covering, and the big shorts out there right now are the United States government, and so that's them in the market. It's pretty easy to spot. What else we got here with this one? He asked, could this be an indication of funds coming out of the stock market and into the gold stocks? And the answer is yes, it could, to some extent, but not a lot. Because if there were a lot, gold would have turned up strongly, and so it didn't do that. And so I don't know that is much of a factor. And